Hello,
Good morning.
and welcome to a little secret corner of our garden.
Very secret.
Look at the heather up on the banking behind us. It smells delicious.
It does.
I'm not surprised the bees love it. And that's what this vlog's about. It's a bit of an unscheduled one, to be honest.
Very unscheduled.
It wasn't the one we had planned, but we were kind of forced into it.
Yeah.
If you follow us on social media, you will have noticed a few days ago I posted about one of the colonies of bees in our hives swarming, which took us by surprise, to be honest, and we'll explain a bit more why in a little bit.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of comments on social media asking, oh, well, what's caused it, and did you do anything wrong, and have you checked this, and did you do that? And it's just easier to make a vlog about it than it is to try and answer everybody. In simple terms, it's very natural for the bees to swarm, but not usually in the first season with us. But it is a natural process, and it's basically to ensure survival of the species, of the colony.
Yeah.
What happens is they can split into a group, and then one group will move on and form another colony. And it just means that if the hive is hit by, I don't know, disease or starvation or maybe a fire, like that fire we had earlier in the year.
Oh, we don't want another one of them.
If part of the colony is split away, it ensures survival of that colony. That's why they do it. In the days before all this happens, some things go on.
Oh, really?
So the queen will start slimming down because she's got to fly away and find somewhere new. So she slims down and stops laying eggs. But she's got to make sure that there's enough brood in the hive for after she's gone for new bees to come round.
Isn't she clever?
She is clever. They also prepare queen cells, which is where a new queen will be born, and she'll take over when the old queen has flown away. What? It was just an involuntary finger movement.
Pointing at me.
I have quite a few of those. Meanwhile, the bees start packing themselves with honey because they're going to need, well, they're going to need supplies when they've gone. They're going to need to eat and keep their strength up.
No wonder we ain't got any.
While they find somewhere new. And then once they're all ready, they're off.
Gone.
That's it. Gone. Pack
Buzzing
the bags
about.
and gone. Within a few days, though, all the new brood starts to come through, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, when the new queen is born, it starts that new colony, and they start working extra hard to get it back up to strength again. Meanwhile, the other colony I nearly said off then, the other colony that's gone finds somewhere new to live, and they start again. So what triggers a swarm? Well, when I was doing all my research and talking to other beekeepers, generally, as a rule of thumb, if you imagine all the frames in your hive, now when the hive gets too full, the bees will decide that they need to split and one set will swarm away. Once about 70 to 80% of them have been drawn out and have got comb on them, that's the time when you have to extend, you have to give them more room. And the way we do that is we put what we call super boxes on top of the brood box.
Yes.
So the main box is the brood box, and then we put the super on top, which has got more frames in it, and that's generally where the bees will store the honey.
For us.
For us, for the additional stores of honey.
Yeah.
So out of my 11 frames, only 7 of them were drawn, and only about 5 or 6 of them were really in use.
Yeah.
Which meant there were 4 frames out of the 11 that were completely empty. The other thing is there's a clue, because the bees will start to create these queen cells which look quite different and they're quite noticeable. I always look for the queen cells because I'm looking at everything that's going on. And I genuinely didn't see any queen cells. That's not to mean that they're not there. It could be that they're on a frame that's really thick with bees and it's underneath the bees. And I've missed it because I'm a complete noob. And I'm going to admit that. So, I wasn't expecting them to swarm because I didn't think it was overcrowded. And I couldn't see any queen cells, but I wasn't expecting to see any queen cells because it wasn't overcrowded.
Yeah.
And apparently it's quite unusual for your colony to swarm in its first season. And I've only had them a couple of months, haven't I?
Yeah, yeah.
So as a complete noob, I just wasn't expecting it. So maybe that's why I didn't pay as much attention as I should have. So it all started a couple of days ago, and it was actually you that noticed it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You came in and said, your bees are acting a bit funny, there's a load of bees.
Yeah, it weren't normal.
And I went out and I could see that there were a lot more than normal kind of coming out and hanging around the front of the hive. And it was literally within minutes that they'd gone from coming out of the front to just this huge cloud.
It was massive, wasn't it?
It was huge. I mean, the cloud must have been 30 or 40 feet round,
easy,
wasn't it?
Easy.
And they looked like they were having a ball. They were kind of buzzing away and down, and the queen must have been in there somewhere. Now, they settled on a tree, which was only about 30 feet away from the hive.
Yeah, it weren't far at all.
Maybe 30, 40 feet. And I noticed this kind of ball of bees starting to grow. And the queen would have settled on there, and then all the bees kind of get a scent and they
surround
her and protect her. But I had to try and get to the tree. Now, the bees were probably only about 15, 20 feet up in this tree, weren't they? It wasn't that high.
It wasn't that high, no.
But I just couldn't get to it for the bracken, and it's a fir tree. So the branches are like really weak.
Really bendy.
And I couldn't get to the kind of main trunk to secure the ladder to. So that was a bind, trying to get the ladder through the bracken and trying to get it in the tree somehow to get close to them, because I wanted to try and catch the colony again so that they didn't go away. Because what happens is once they settle on the tree, you get scout bees from that colony that have gone off in every direction looking for a place to live. You've got to be quick because they could be off within an hour or sooner.
Yeah.
And then they've gone. You've lost them forever unless you know where they've gone. Now, I've got no equipment for catching swarms of bees like this.
This was funny.
I was trying to get advice from a beekeeper who's been helping me out. Cheers, Kevin. And I couldn't get in touch with him straight away. So the first thing I thought of is I've still got the nuke boxes that they came in, which are like a small box that holds 5 frames. And I still had those. I kept them in the barn. So I got the nuke box, took everything out of it so it was empty, and managed to get up the ladder. Now I thought, well, the first thing I've got to do is mist the bees with water, because that makes them tighten up.
Right, I didn't know
as
that.
a colony.
I wondered why you were doing that.
Yeah, so I got a mister that I used to use for my bonsai tree.
That it killed?
We don't need to know about that. And I misted the bees to try and get them to pack together, to tighten up together. Once I'd done that, got the nuke box, and I still couldn't quite reach. I was still about 5, 6 feet away from the hanging colony, and I just couldn't get the ladder high enough. So I got a big stick holding the box with one hand, and I just gave the branch this almighty whack, and I would say about 70% of the bees
just fell in the box.
Now, of course, they didn't like this, so they were buzzing around me.
Oh, they were angry.
They weren't very happy with me at that time, and even though my bee suit's about 5mm thick, which is supposed to be sting-proof as you can get it anyway, but because I'm kind of moving about, my cheek touched the veil and one of them stung my cheek. The adrenaline was just rushing so much, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I was aware that it had happened, but I was just in this cloud of angry bees, and I just wanted to get down with the box of bees and get them away. And so I got a frame from the old hive that had some food on it,
yes,
some nectar and some honey, and put the one frame in there and a couple of new frames. And I thought I'll just leave them there for a little bit, for an hour, just to calm down and see what happens. After we'd had a cup of tea and a few biscuits, went back to see what was going on. And the bees were all over the new frames in the nuke box, which was a good sign.
Yes.
They hadn't flown off again. But I noticed where they fell from the tree, there was still a group there. It was only about 1/3 of the size of the original one, but it was still there in this tight ball. And I thought, well, I wonder if the queen's still at the bottom of that. And of course, I need the queen. I can't have the colony without a queen, so I need the queen. So I had a feeling she might still be up there. So we had to go and get that one. Now, I couldn't take the nuke box up there again because it had some frames in it, so I needed something else.
And we didn't have anything, so we had to make something.
We had to improvise, and I thought, well, what can I get that I can put underneath them to catch the rest of them? You recognise this? Lawnmower box fastened to a rake with some cable ties. Hopefully we're going to go up the tree and scoop them up into the box, and then we can put them from this box back into the nuke box. That's the plan anyway. Went back to the tree, secured the ladder as best I could, and started going up the tree. And of course it was a little bit heavy, this, so the first time I fell off.
What happened there?
Fell.
Oh.
Which we'll forget about. But went up again. What?
Falling.
Went up again, positioned the box right underneath this. It was only about this big, about fist size was the group of bees that was left, and then just banged it upwards, and the rest of the group fell straight into the grass box. A few of them were angry and tried to get me. Came back down the ladder, tipped them into the nuke box, put the lid over, and thought, done. Now, once a swarm has left a hive, you can't put it back. So I couldn't take the nuke box and put the bees back in the original hive. So I needed a new hive. Sean ended up driving all the way to Inverness to the suppliers, built the new hive, which was easier than the first time because I'm getting used to building it now. And then transferred them over into the new hive, put some more new frames in it, gave them some sugar gloop to feed on, and we've left them.
And they seem okay.
They do seem okay. I checked them again as I was putting them in to see if I could see the queen, and I couldn't, but...
Doesn't mean to say she's not there.
They were very thick on the frames,
yeah.
And I didn't want to be brushing them about because they were a bit agitated, as they would be, because they'd tried swarming and I'd kind of been banging them out of trees and stuff. And so I'm leaving them for a few days now and see what's going on. Now, what I'm looking for is bees coming in with pollen. That's a good sign because that means the feeding brood. Now, if the feeding brood, it means the queen's in there because she's laying eggs. If I don't see that, when I do the inspection, I'm going to be looking on the frames for brood, well, for eggs.
Yeah.
And again, if I see eggs, I know the queen's there because she's laying. If I don't see any eggs or anything, I don't see any sign of the queen, then I'm going to have to get a queen, I think. So what have I learned? Well, I've learned to get a better set of ladders for a start.
They're on order.
Longer, sturdier, proper set of ladders. I wouldn't have used the extendable ones if I'd have had a choice. It was like that or nothing, so I had to use them. And luckily I didn't hurt myself. I think the other thing is when I'm doing inspections is to really look closer, even if it means knocking or shaking the bees off a frame so I can see the frame, to make sure there's no queen cells hidden. I think that's another thing I've learned.
Yes.
To have a spare hive ready. So I've actually ordered another one already, which I'm going to have built and waiting in the barn if ever we need it.
We'll never have any money.
Tell me about it. And the other thing I think is to be a little bit more expectant of the unexpected.
Yes.
I wouldn't say I was being complacent. I just didn't expect this to happen as quickly as it did. And it is brilliant. I'm actually loving the learning curve because it forces you into learning how to cope and deal with what's going on.
And we know what to do next time.
I would never have seen myself going up a tree, knocking a swarm of bees into a grass box of a lawnmower and having them all around me stinging me.
Never in my life I could have imagined him doing it.
But you're kind of forced into that experience and you learn from it, and I really, really love it. And thanks to everybody who's given advice and little tips and things like that, because
especially you, Kev.
Especially Kev, because it's such a learning curve and I'm absolutely loving it. And every time something like this happens, you kind of learn something else.
Yeah.
And so you're ready for it the next time. Although next time it'll probably be completely different.
Kev will be phoning you soon.
Probably will be, yeah. So there you go. We hope you've enjoyed this vlog and maybe learnt something from it. I'm always learning. I love it.
Yes.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Hit the thumbs up button, and if you hit the notification bell, YouTube will let you know every time we release a new vlog. You look like something like character out of Dick Emery when you do that. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. If you want to help support the channel, which I'll tell you something, at the moment is very much needed because we're forking out left, right and centre for beehives.
We've got no left.
And ladders. And sugar gloop and stuff. And if you want to do that, there's a couple of ways you can support the channel. You can become a YouTube member or a member of Patreon. They're both the same thing, it's just different platforms. And you get sorts of exclusive content and discount off our merch and exclusive access to stuff and early access to the videos some of you get as well. Details are in the video description. There's a link up above Sean's head on screen for some of you if you want to do that. If you want to support us in other ways, like a one-off thing, you could donate by PayPal. Yeah. You could buy one of our calendars for 2023. We've got a few of those left for pre-order. They're going out in September. And we've got our new range of merch. Look at Sean's bee t-shirt.
Bees?
Look at this. Bee, 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 bee. That's funny every time. There's a link to our new merch store down in the video description.
Are we done?
Are we going to have some honey on toast now?
We've got no honey. They took it all.
See you next time. Bye.
Ta-ra.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a vlog that was unplanned, a little bit like myself, I think. I don't know, you'll have to ask me, mum. Typical Foxes Afloat, a flox flashen. Do you want a flox flashen? That sounds like something German that's rude, doesn't it? Oh, flox flashen. Make your eyes water. Beep, 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 beep.
Got an hacky clack.
The bee suits keep moving about and it makes me look like somebody's walking across the garden. And yeah.
Got things crawling on me.
Yeah. As I kind of...
It's better in English. Go for some heather. We have lots of flies buzzing.
I'm not surprised to bleed. And bleeze.
I've got stuff crawling round me.
Yay! We'll keep that one.